Okay, so I just found this box, and I haven't been in this box for a while. I remember I was cleaning, so I put some stuff in the box. So let's check out what's inside. Let's see. I'm gonna open up over here. Okay, so let's see. There is a die, apparently. There's a cell phone. Huh. This is an old cell phone, I have to admit. You can only text with this, honestly. Back in the day, you can only text. Let's see, you can only text, call. You could even take pictures with this thing. Huh. What else? What else is here? Oh, look. There are some movies, apparently. You can watch this for hours. I love this movie. This one also, you can just fall in love with this movie. It's amazing, well written, so many great actors. It's just awesome. Let's see, what else do we have? There are some pencils. Okay. Let's see, what's under this? Huh. Some magnets, apparently. Okay. All right. Oh, there's something else under this. What the heck is this? Oh, some sort of plushie. Oh well. So, what I just used again was another conversation using the topics we're going to be seeing today. Okay? If you guys notice in the first conversation, if you guys pay attention, I did use a little bit of past tense in the beginning, but I also used a little bit of simple present and a little bit of the other topics we've seen so far. Now, something you need to keep in mind is, well, like I said, we're seeing the basics right now and we're just reviewing them. So everything can be more difficult depending on you. Depending if you want it to be more difficult. Okay? So yes, the things we're seeing is basic, but you can make it better. For example, everything I said just now are things we're going to learn. And things you can say and write. And right now, we're concentrating on writing. So let's begin. First, we're going to be seeing 3 topics. We're going to be seeing 3 steps. Okay? The first one is going to be simple. There is and there are. If you guys paid attention in the beginning, this was what I was using quite a bit. Especially to say what I was finding in the box. If you guys remember, for example, there is a cell phone, right? There is a cell phone. Man, this thing is old. So, as you guys can see, we pretty much use there is and there are to say what's around us. Okay? To say what's inside a room, what's inside a box, what's even in the store. Okay? So let's see. This is pretty simple. There isn't really that much to do. Just notice how the structure goes. First and foremost is there is. Let's see. There is a cell phone. And let's add a little bit more. In the box. So there is a cell phone in the box. Notice how the structure is. Okay? We're going to be using there is a. Okay? Remember that a and N are the same thing. And they're both mainly used for singular when you're talking about one thing. For example, here, I messed up once again. Sorry, I'm writing fast. We're talking about how many cell phones? 1. So since it's just one cell phone, that's where we put a cell phone. Okay? A cell phone. So there you go. There is a cell phone in the box. Okay? Now, if we're using there is for one cell phone, I'm pretty sure you know what there are is going to be used for. For example, oh, no, I want to use black. Let's see. There are movies. And let's put in the box. You know we're talking about the box, right? You know we're talking about this box right here. Now, this box, so we're going to say there are movies in this box. Notice how we're still using this? Okay? We're going to be seeing today how we can connect everything we've seen. Now, notice here, we're using there are. How many movies did we find in the box? How many movies? If you remember, we found 3 movies, right? 3 movies. So is it singular or plural? Plural, right? So since it's plural, that's why we added movies. Remember, you add the S if it's plural. Some people have been making that mistake, so be careful. There are movies in this box. So as you guys can see, we use is, there is, okay? When we're talking about singular. Oh, and don't forget the A. And we use there are and the S when we're talking about plural. Okay? Singular, plural. Singular, plural. Singular. Both of these are singular, remember. Plural. So, that's there is and there are. As you guys can see, we were using it a lot in the beginning, right? Even when I said there are some magnets. Or you could say there are 4 magnets in here, right? You know, fun fact, these 2 magnets, I had them for a long time. So, let's continue. So, that's how you do a normal sentence, okay? There is, there are, alright, and then you continue with the complement. And here is when we added something extra, okay? Now, let's see how we're going to do it in negative. In negative, it's also pretty simple. Negative, there isn't, like I just said, you're going to put there, either is or are, and as you already know, isn't or aren't. Okay? There isn't. And how do we use this? Well, think about when your mom or a loved one ever told you to find something in the fridge, right? Hey, go and get the milk in the fridge. There isn't or there aren't. First, isn't. There isn't milk in the fridge. Okay? There isn't milk in the fridge. What we're saying there is that, is there milk? No. Of course not. There aren't, let's see, pens. There aren't pens for me. There aren't pens for me. Or there aren't any pens for me. Okay? You can also add any. We'll talk about any later though. Okay? Don't worry about it for now. We'll be talking about any later. But there we go. That is negative. There isn't, there aren't. So you guys can say what there isn't in the box. For example, in the box, there isn't a eraser. In the box, there aren't any pens. You see? That's how we can use it. Let's continue on. Now, we're going to be also using questions. I'm going to be honest. There is and there are mainly used for questions. Okay? There is and there are mainly used for questions. Now, give me a second while I clean this up like always. And what do I mean? Well, first and foremost, let's see. The question is pretty simple. Remember how I told you put how you make the verb to be with a question? Well, you just put it before the subject. In this occasion, there would be kind of like the subject. So we're going to be putting it before. Okay? For example, is there a cat in your house? I'm asking you, is there a cat in your house? You're allergic, you don't like them. Well, say, no, there isn't. Or yes, there is. You see? This is how we can use this in question form. Of course, anything that you honestly can think about, don't worry. But it's the same way with are. You can also use, well, or, you'll have to change it. Here we're talking about one cat, right? So here it would be, are there, let's see, cats in your house? Okay? Are there cats in your house? Please remember, when it's plural, you're going to add, okay, R and S. If it's singular, it's an A. Or, like I said, it could be N if it sounds like a vowel. For example, apple. Okay? Any questions? Remember to type them in the comments or ask me during chats. Okay? But this is pretty much there is and there are. We use this quite a lot, honestly. Okay? Especially because, like, let's say, for example, you want to talk about a city. Let's say that you love Monclova, or that you love a city that you've been in. Monterrey, Guanajuato, Canada, United States, whatever. Well, you could say what's inside your city. For example, you could say, well, in Monclova, there are 2 parks. Xochipilli 1 and Xochipilli 2. There is a campanario, and there are, let's see, lots of good restaurants. There is a big mall. And there are good people. There are bad people too, but there are good people. Okay? Oh, in Monclova there is, let's see, there is a, let's see. I'm sorry, Monclova is so small, okay? There's not that much I can think about Monclova. In Monclova there is a cheese grater. Don't quote me on that. Okay? But as you guys can see, there's lots of things you can say. Especially if you're talking about a city. If you want to talk about your house, yeah. I mean, for example, let's say you're talking about your friend's house. Let's call my friend Bob. Oh, hey, guess what? There is a PlayStation at Bob's house. Or, or Sarah, or there is a lot of makeup in Sarah's house. You see? You can continue saying, and it's extremely useful. Okay? And especially, for example, in these times. In these times where people are going kind of, how can I say it? Loopy? And buying up toilet paper and lots of stuff like that. Well, you can say, oh, hey, in HEB, there's hand sanitizer now. You see? In HEB, there is hand sanitizer now. I'm not joking, though. HEB has hand sanitizer. You guys are noticing that I'm using the same subjects we've been learning? That's how we use there is and there are. It's extremely useful, and I recommend that you actually try to practice with it. So remember, the structure is pretty simple. There plus is, are, plus complement. We're not using any verbs this occasion. But also don't forget, please don't forget, if you're using is, use a or n. And if you're using are, use the s, plural s. Okay? Let's go on to the next lesson. Let's see if we can keep this video in 30 minutes or less. I don't want to do 40, but I will if I have to. Okay. So, the next part we're going to talk about will be prepositions. Now, prepositions are extremely useful, okay? Especially if you're looking for something. What are prepositions? Well, I'm pretty sure you know them by now, right? And it's pretty much this: in, on, under, behind, above, between, in front of, next to. If you can, write these down so, you can use them. And so you don't forget them as well. So let's see. Let's put an example using this. Okay? Let's use... Right? Let's use my pencil case. Now, let's see. Let's use this pencil. Right? Or better yet, let's use, and this new word for some of you, sharpener. So, sharpener. We're going to be using there is and there are. First, in. In is pretty simple, right? I recommend that while we're seeing each word, mientras estamos viendo cada palabra, you draw an image, dibuja una imagen que estén aquí. If you're watching this video, if it's someone from university, it's optional. Pero si son de prepa, so lo voy a estar checando también en sus notas. Traten de dibujar qué representa cada una. So let's see. First is in, right? So let's talk about in. In is pretty simple, right? There is a sharpener in the pencil case, right? There is a sharpener in the pencil case. That one's pretty simple. In, usually it's talk about inside, right? Let's go to the next one. On. No, actually under. There is a sharpener under the pencil case. There is a sharpener under the pencil case. You see? It's under. That's where it's at. Now, the next one is, be careful with the next one, above. There's a sharpener above the pencil case. There is a sharpener above the pencil case. Now let's use the next one. There is a sharpener on the pencil case. You see the difference between on and above? Because this tends to confuse some people. Okay? The difference, and this one I'll draw them for you. Let's see. Let's say that here's the box, right? And here's the object. This is above. And this is on. Okay? On is touching it. Above is not. Okay? So keep that in mind. Now, keep it also in mind that on can also be used for any surface, not just if it's flat. Okay? For example, the sharpener is on the board. But you can also use it, for example, the cap is on the marker. Okay? O sea, puede ser vertical, horizontal, conforme se esté tocando esto, conforme esté tocando lo que están hablando, va a ser on. ¿Ok? Tengan eso en mente. Conforme estén tocando, va a ser on. Behind is pretty simple. I got tired of using that. Let's see. Let's use something else I have here. I have this right here. Let's say that there's a box, right? So we saw above, on, right? Behind. The sharpener is behind the box. Behind. Okay? Next one. Between. The sharpener is between the boxes. In front of. The sharpener is in front of the box. Alright? In front of the box. And next to is the sharpener is next to the box. Okay? Next to. So once again, let's review quickly. In, under, above, on, behind, between, in front of, and next to. Okay? And they're pretty easy to use in a sentence. If you guys notice, we were actually using them already. For example, let's say that you're looking for a pen. That you're looking for a pen. You can say something, for example, there is a pen in the pencil case. See? There is a pen in the pencil case. And if you tell someone this, well, they're going to know where it is. You can also use this for directions. For example, let's see. There is a store in front of Vizcaya, if you guys remember, si se recuerdan. Let's hope that you do. Remember how your school looks like. But there is a restaurant next to Vizcaya. I'm sorry, I was thinking about university. Estaba pensando en universidad. There is a restaurant next to Vizcaya, right? Casa de Frilon. Same thing. You guys can use this to say directions. You guys can use this to tell someone where it's at. For example, that, hey, where's your laptop? Oh, my laptop is on my bed. It's on my bed, or under my bed, or in my backpack. See? That's how you can use it. So first, you're going to continue again. There is the complement, and then you will begin with the connector. So keep this in mind. Okay? Again, any questions, feel free to ask. Now let's go on to the last lesson. The last lesson is going to be a little bit harder. Again, I'm going through this pretty fast because I don't want this to be over 30 minutes. Although I feel like I'm going 23 now, so let's see how it goes. Let's see. The next part we're going to see, and we're just going to see it briefly so you can use it, is can. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys know what can is, right? But the thing about can is that it has multiple uses. You can use it for abilities, for permissions, for questions. But right now, we're just going to concentrate on possibility. Okay? What do you mean? Or what do I mean by possibility? Okay? Well, that's simple. Possibility is what's possible or what you can do in a certain place. Okay? For example, let's talk about HEB. Okay? HEB, the store. In HEB, what can you buy? Alright? In HEB, you can buy food. It's possible, right? Because they sell food. But can you buy a car? An actual car, like Ford, Kia, or Nissan, or whatever, Toyota. Okay? No, right? You can't. They don't sell that in HEB. So, you're going to write, you can't buy a car? Again, if you want to continue, for both of these you can buy a car or you can buy food in HEB. Now, you see what I'm using it for? We're talking about possibilities. We're not talking about what you can do. All right, we're talking about what's possible. Okay? For example, let me tell you something. Let me ask this question. Someone asks you, you live in Monclova? Monclova is so small. What can you do in Monclova? What can you do in Monclova? What can you do in Monclova? Well, you're going to be using can. And notice that we're using you, okay? Keep this in mind. I'll explain this in a minute. We're using you. Oh, well, Monclova is small. In Monclova, you can go to the park. You can go to Cinépolis. Oh, you can go to the mall, right? You can go to restaurants. You can go to a club. You see, we're naming possibilities. Lo que es posible hacer en la misma ciudad. That's why we're using you. Por eso estamos usando you. Noten por qué. Una vez más. Okay? For example, hay una diferencia si ustedes dicen I can buy food. You can buy food. If you say, oh, you can buy food in HEB, okay? You're pretty much saying what's possible in HEB. Lo que es posible. But if I say, I can buy food in HEB, right? Depending on your tone, depending del tono que ustedes usen, pueden dar los significados. One, possibility. It's like, yeah, I can buy food in HEB. I have money. See? Depending on the context, right? Possibility. Yeah, I can buy food in HEB. I mean, I'm not prohibited to. But if you use the wrong tone, you're not going to be using possibility. You're using more like you're offering. Están ofreciendo. What do I mean? Well, for example, if someone says, oh, I need food, I'm hungry. Okay? But I can't go to HEB. Uno se puede ofrecer. Oh, I can go to HEB. You see the difference? That's why here we're using you. Por eso estamos usando you. Porque estamos hablando más de posibilidad. We're talking more about possibility. You can buy food in HEB. Okay? Any questions? Remember to ask them. Can is a little bit difficult, so keep that in mind. Okay? Let's put another example. What the heck was that? I don't know. I thought I just saw something. So let's see. Let's say you can fly to, let's see, you can fly to Canada. You can fly to Canada, let's see, for cheap. Well, right now you can't because, the things that's going on. You can fly to Canada for cheap. Okay? So, here again, we're talking about possibility. What is possible? Now, keep in mind that you can also use this like a sentence, a question. And how would be the question? Well, it's the same way with the verb to be, like in verb to be. You put it before the subject. I can ask you, can you, let's see, can you swim in Xochipilli? Can you swim in Xochipilli? Okay? Here we're pretty much asking if it's possible. Es posible. Okay? Can you swim in Xochipilli? The answer, as you know, it's no. You can't swim in Xochipilli. Yes, there is a little lake, somewhat of a lake, but it's prohibited. Está prohibido. So technically, you can't swim in HEB. In Xochipilli. Can you swim in Xochipilli? The answer would be no. You can't. So you see what I'm doing right now? Okay? There's how you can use can for possibility. Okay? Remember, we're used to talking about possibilities, not abilities. For example, let me tell you what I mean. Just one last example. There's a difference if you say, I can sing. This is an ability. Okay? Because you say that you can sing, pueden cantar. But that's not a possibility. A possibility is, for example, right? You can sing in giros. Giros, which is a karaoke, right? Which is karaoke. Or, for example, you can sing in, what is it, Pizza Risa? Yeah, you can sing in Pizza Risa. You see the difference? This is an ability. I can sing. Están diciendo lo que ustedes pueden hacer. But here, you're saying, oh, you can sing in giros. You're talking about possibilities. Here I'm going to tell you this. Do not translate. Do not translate. No intenten entenderlo por traducir. Si lo intentan de traducir, van a batallar más para entenderlo. Porque en sí no cambia mucho. Tienen que solo tomar el contexto. Here, your ability. Here, what you can do. Lo que pueden hacer. En giros, you can sing. ¿Pueden cantar Vizcaya? Well, yeah, but you're not permitted. No lo están dejando a menos si es parte de una actividad. You see? For example, you can't sing in class. You can't sing in class. You see? Why? Well, it's against the rules. Está en contra de las reglas. So there you go. That is can, there is, and there are. As a last example, I'm going to just put how we're going to mix all of this. Vamos a mezclar todo. Now, ya vimos cómo se hace pregunta. Do you, right? Ya vimos que also have for a verb. So, do you have a pen? ¿Cómo se responde? Yes. Pero ahora vamos a cambiar la respuesta y darle continuación. Do you have a pen? Yes. There is a pen on my desk. And then you continue it. It's next to my laptop. So as you guys can see, I used everything we saw. We saw do with simple present. We saw have, okay? We saw there is, and we saw next to. This is how you can combine it all. Alright, next time we're going to be working on how to combine everything we just saw so we can make a short sentence. But remember, do not translate in this occasion. If you translate in Spanish, it's going to be difficult. Try to start thinking in English. Okay? Think in English. The best way to start, la mejor manera para empezar, is whenever you see something. For example, let's say you see this. You say, oh, cell phone. And you can say it in your head. Lo pueden decir en su cabeza. And you'll be able to remember. And it'll be faster and faster and faster every time. Okay? So that's it for right now. Okay? Remember to turn in your notes and everything properly. There's nothing else I have to say. Great job on your notes last time. Hicieron un buen trabajo para los alumnos de prepa con sus notas. Perfect job. I really enjoyed it. Okay? Let me know if I'm also talking a little bit too fast in this video, if the audio's okay, or if I should try to do something. Okay? But other than that, we're going to leave it like that. Okay? So, enjoy the rest of your day. Please don't die of stress, and take care.